All right. Welcome to episode 17 of the Collectin and Connectin podcast. Good vibes, Top Shot community. King Brett, we got you here. Yo, what's up, fam?
Yo, happy to be here as always.
Yes, sir, my man. And then we have a extra special guest today, Pistons super fan, an NBA nerd just like us, content curation, team lead at NBATOPSHOT. Returning guest. So happy to have you here. Austin Kent. What's up, buddy?
Hey, not much. Just enjoying the good vibes, as always.
Yes, sir. Good vibes. You guys have been busy over there in the off season. We're a couple weeks away from starting the NBA season and so excited, but can't wait to talk Top Shot and everything you guys have been rolling out. But I guess let's address the elephant that's not in the room. King Brett, Treaticus is not here.
Did you just call him an elephant? He's not going to like that.
He's not going to like that, but it's kind of a double entendre there. I don't know. You tell us what's going on with Treaticus. Where's he at?
Man, if you haven't heard, if you haven't seen it, he is running for mayor. He's about to be Mayor Treaticus, if he can help it. So he is taking a little bit of time back to focus and kind of realign with some stuff going on. He's really devoted to helping his city grow and make positive vibes and create the Top Shot good CNC vibes and bring it to his hometown. So we're really excited for him and supporting him in that. And now we get to hang out a little bit and we don't have to worry about all the, some of those jokes that we like, the little
there'll be several references that we'll make, but we just wanted everybody to know where he was and why we were making those references. So Austin, you got shoes to fill with all different types of characters. No, I'm just kidding, man. We can't wait to talk basketball with you and push the basketball here with Collectin and Connectin and talk Top Shot, man. What's been going on with you, buddy?
Busy. It's been the whole off season. We've been excited about, tackling Run It Back. It's always such a big part of the sort of calendar, and this year probably bigger and more ambitious than ever. Long time coming. We started having these conversations in March and April, and now we're in October. We're 3 weeks away from opening day. No, good things take a long time to prep, and what we were able to deliver and what's still to come. Like I'm very proud of it and excited about it.
Man, it's been awesome. There's been so much great stuff rolled out here in the NBA offseason throughout the summer. Lots of things that we could definitely talk about. Series 4 has been fantastic. You guys have been pushing the basketball, as we mentioned. The moments are great. There's all different types of upgrades, and stuff happens so fast since the last time we talked to you. There's so many things that we could even go back and bring up.
Like warp speed, man.
What'd you say, King Brett? I missed it.
I said it's like warp speed. It's like I thought everything was going to kind of slow down just a bit, and then it was like, whoa. Like it's trying to keep up with everything. It's just exciting stuff, man. Exciting.
Yeah, well, I appreciate hearing you guys put it that way. Like at any given time, there's so much stuff happening sort of behind the scenes. Like bricks getting, brick by brick, laying the foundation for things. And sometimes it works out that they all kind of reach public sort of stage at the same time. So all that sort of quiet, like toiling away and tinkering away that the whole team's been doing, you get these rushes where you're just like, all right, this is ready to ship. Hey, this is ready to go public. This is ready for people to see it. And it just feels like, you're drinking out of a fire hose, sometimes, but, no, it's just a testament to how awesome the team has been, like all aspects of the team, the public facing ones, the ones behind the scenes, just, any good idea is in sort of some state of development, which is a fun environment to be a part of.
Yeah, very, very cool. Since we've last talked to you, had big NBA Top Shot coverage at Summer League and NBA Con. Several stuff came out with the NBA draft moments, and we got to see those with that footage for the first time. It was just fantastic. Here more recently, we've seen audio come to the platform for the first time. Yeah, dude, game footage audio. Like, we're just so excited. The advancements, man. Just talk about some things that you guys are adding technology wise, just across the platform that y'all are excited about going into S5.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just especially on the footage front, like you mentioned, that including like the draft footage, like that. I mean, that feels like years ago now. But like kind of the theme, I guess, really since like series 2, really just trying to push the boundaries of what we're able to do. And we're lucky, like the NBA is a great partner. Like they want us to be as amazing as possible. Like so awesome. every sort of every set, every quarter, we're sort of incrementally making these improvements and pushing the envelope, like, hey, can we improve the footage, by lingering on bench reactions longer? Like, remember when that started? Like, we didn't even do that before. So like it starts small, and then, just, layer by layer, we're adding to it. We had talked about
King Brett. We've been a broken record on talking about the bench reactions, dude. That's all we talk about.
Dude, it's some of the best stuff because the reactions and the players we all love go nuts, and it really creates. And we've talked about this before. It creates that illicit feeling like you're there. It creates the emotion, and it just makes it so much better. It's so great.
Exactly. No, that's that bringing that emotion into it sort of helps with that sort of core memory, so to be able to include that and therefore evoke that, like that's kind of the way to go. But for draft footage, like we just knew it was a matter of time before we had like a rookie crossing the stage, excuse me,
putting the hat on.
Yeah, putting the hat on, the Adam Silver debut.
Hand. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. We knew we wanted to do that, and even just sort of like, kind of like supporting shots that you've seen in the anthology sets, like, hey, like we want to show the scoreboard, or hey, like this guy got acknowledged on like the Jumbotron, like, and what can we do? Where is the line of what we can include, like, because there's so much more than just, hey, play happened on the court, this is it. So that's kind of been happening for a couple of years now, and just bit by bit it's just getting more and more exciting. And I mean, another thing that we've been talking about for what feels like forever, I think going back into January, was audio. I mean, we've been talking about even before that, but been getting close, I mean, for more than 6 months now. So to be able to see it finally come to light in the way that it did is really exciting. A long process, we're in unprecedented space, like
walking on the moon, baby.
Walking on the moon. Yeah. Like, so we got to navigate it, with the partners in a way that they're comfortable with, like, cause there's nothing you can point to that's like, well, how did, like, cause we're not their social account. We're not like cardboard. We're a whole new space, and like lots of conversations, lots of business people, lots of lawyers, lots of rights, like lots of things are being talked about for the first time. So to be able to make the progress that we did and get audio out there, get that ambient sound out there, it's just such a great first step. And a lot more work ahead of us, being able to do it at scale. But certainly I was happy to be able to debut it with the magnitude of plays, with the Dame shot and the Kawhi shot. So
for sure. Yeah. Those are special moments and great additions to be able to add, as Brett said, that emotion is unbelievable to create that. I feel like so many times that you guys are dropping stuff just makes you give that feel of Dame. Just, I mean, check this out, dude. It's so awesome, man.
Yeah, look.
I love that moment, and as you said, the magnitude of bringing those up. I wanted to show you something else. Speaking of other things to create emotion, you were able to do something super special this summer. You teased us showing an open chair, I guess, a while back, and then we were able to see who you were actually talking to. Dude, you talked to Larry Legend. I mean,
go.
creating the like. Are you kidding? Like, talk to us the rest of the time about this. Like, come on.
I'm like a little schoolboy, like meeting your most favorite player. Like that's got to be such a great experience.
You're the closest one to him right there. Just right there, Larry Legend.
It was I mean, it was incredible working with him, like the whole sort of process. But that interview was just amazing. Like, I mean, I've done media, right? So I've interviewed some players, but they're kind of like contemporary players. But seeing a player from like our childhood, it was like straight back to like like starstruck. Like it's just like a complete separation in my mind. Like, oh, I'm still starstruck by the people from when I was a kid.
Right.
Even if it's different than contemporary players. So I mean, gosh, so much preparation went into the Larry Bird, the whole anthology set.
Yeah.
But specifically, for the interview, I mean, like we've all seen Larry Bird interviews, right? We've seen them before. I don't know if you've seen the depiction of Larry Bird's like press conference and like winning time. But we were told like, Larry Bird's the type of person, we all know this, who doesn't like suffer fools. So I'm like, well, if we're gonna come, and get some good answers, like just wanted to be thoroughly and completely prepared.
Yeah. Gotta ask the right
times how many times he's been interviewed, like you're gonna have to separate yourself a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, gosh, the amount of Larry Bird biographies, autobiographies, books that I read, just going into that, just so I could be, prepared and have all the sources cited and all this stuff. I mean, we heard, like, we were warned by, a couple of reps, not warned, but warned, I guess. Like, hey, he can be concise. Like, hey, like if you give him like an opportunity for like a 1-word answer, don't be surprised if you get a 1-word answer.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So, but no, he was just a total pro, and we kind of, got into like a good sort of rhythm early on in the interview, and then he started opening up. Like I've never seen him laugh as much as he did, like when we were talking, like, and I've got the full video basically ready to drop very soon. Like I know the full conversation went out on audio, but like I got a full 30-minute,
I cannot wait to watch
video.
that.
It's amazing. Like it turned out way better than we thought. What I hoped for was the usable sound bites that you saw in the marketing assets, before the drop.
Sure.
And they were, so good that they ended up being actually used as like narration on they're actually in product.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
The way you dropped it out with those clips and then included them, man, it was incredible.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate you saying that. Just like, there's a lot of like sort of expectations, I guess, maybe just my own expectations for what we could get out of it. I kind of came away from the Magic experience thinking that we could have got more out of it, like in terms of, I wish I could have had a 30-minute sit down with Magic Johnson, like instead of, like that'd be nice to have, because that's evergreen. That's an evergreen validation of what we're here for.
Right.
You can send somebody to, like, when we put out this full Larry Bird conversation, it's basically like a mini Last Dance,
right?
And it kind of encapsulates what Top Shot's all about, trying to tell these stories. Yeah. So like, it's, even though the Larry Bird campaign, I mean, it's already in the rearview mirror now that we're on the other run it back, even though it can still live forever. Like as long as Larry Bird has this like urban legend sort of appeal to it, like that is a great sort of example of what the Top Shot like value prop is. It's that storytelling. So
most definitely,
it makes me excited too, because it's also kind of a bridge the gap, because this is going to be released and there are going to be people that find this that have no clue what Top Shot is, but love Larry Bird. And then they're like, who's this guy interviewing him? Like, what is this thing? Oh my gosh, I love that moment. I was at that game. I remember that as a kid. And then it's a great way for people to be introduced into Top Shot organically.
Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of the things that we talked about, the plays that ended up being in his anthology set so far in the first, chunk, was they're almost like urban legends, like the left-hand game, like who's coming in second. They're like,
is that like a little nugget there, maybe? Far?
Well, I mean, you look at the scope of the conversation. We talked about lots of good plays. There's 5 moments in the set.
I got to start saving money, baby.
We got to start, but it's just like, there's it's almost like there's these like myth like components to Larry Bird's reputation. And like I said, I'm reading lots of books, pulling snippets from old like Celtics beat writers, and to be able to get him talking on the record, about things like talking very specifically about who's coming in second. Like if you search for who's coming in second, you get some sports authorities saying he said that in 88 and not 86. Like so to be able to get him kind of on the record talking about these things, and including the left-handed game, which has its own, people are like, he got 47 points all with his left hand. He didn't get all 47 with his left, but he shot 21 field goals with his left, and we got him on the record talking about it, like validating these sort of legends, which is kind of cool.
Moment.
I remember my dad telling me about that game and us pulling it up and looking at it in different, like it was just an incredible moment in history. And then like you're saying, to actually, and as an ex-player, he was the ultimate trash talker, and then he was a coach, and then still in the game and whatnot. He's probably keeping a lot of stuff close to the chest, but now that we're catching him a little bit later, he's willing to share more and be a little bit more open. What a great opportunity you guys had, and I look forward to seeing the whole conversation. I can't tell you how many times Treaticus and Sammy D from Badge County are going to watch that.
Yeah, we got some big Celtics supporters, so it worked out that way.
For sure. I opened my my Bird moment with Treaticus in Dallas, and he was more excited than I was, and it was my moment to like see. He was like, "Oh my gosh! Oh look! No, look at the number!" And I'm like, "Bro, calm down! It's my moment." He's like, "I could buy it from you," and I'm like, "No, it's mine." But like, it's so great, dude.
That's amazing.
Let's talk about Run It Back, as you teased earlier. That was all just released, the new archive moments, 2014 and 19. Talk about that new set that dropped and the moments that are encapsulated there. Very exciting.
Yeah, we knew, obviously, Run It Back a big part of the Top Shot off season. It's just kind of, they go hand in hand together. But we're always trying to iterate and improve. I think every time we've done Run It Back, there's been at least some difference. Like in series 2, or I guess the summer 2021 series, we introduced Archive Set, which wasn't there in series 1.
Right.
And then we introduced, Legacies, which is kind of like the tier above it. So if you consider like Run It Back like a suite of like sub brands, we got a couple different additions, new layers added to it this year. Layers that, sort of preserve what we're trying to do. We're like, hey, we're trying to do a deep dive into a season, which now basically turned into a deep dive of a period of time, which is five seasons in this case. But otherwise, the principle of trying to do a deep dive into the archive is still intact. So we're able to drop these, like this extra deep, extra loaded, sort of cohort of plays, because it happens to be covering, 5 seasons, which is just incredible. So the Legacy set that is already fully out and distributed, it doesn't just have 1 or 2 sort of, grail, unforgettable moments. Like, it's just filled to the brim with them. We got to 16, I think, now that the challenge rewards are out. And there's nothing like weak in that set. Like, it's just pure like heat at the top because of, that decision to kind of stack the deck with 5 years. And that was a big decision, like whether we wanted to do that, kind of make that sort of philosophical shift away from focusing on a season into an era. Yeah. But we were happy to do that. And now what makes me really excited about that is we've got like this stretch of like 10 seasons of NBA history that are chronicled in Top Shot.
Yeah. So cool.
Including a lot of the plays that people come and look for, like they look for the Dame shot, they look for the Kyrie shot, they look for the Kawhi shot. And now to be able to have those, I think helps sort of us, like as Top Shot, and you guys as, Top Shot collectors and community sort of leaders, is you don't have to be like, oh, well, we actually don't have that one yet, but we'll get to it eventually. Like we do it, it's just like, that crazy play you're talking about. Here it is. Yeah. It's amazing. So to do that, and we're very excited about sort of rounding out that library. A lot of how I've been viewing things and talking about things publicly is kind of as this sort of library of history. So it's like we just kind of finished this wing. But Also new is in this sort of approach to running back for this year is the origin set, right? Which like we have a lot of sort of appetite, internally for a set that kind of specifically shine a light on rookies, players who joined the league at this time. Rookies are such a big part of the collectible space. So that's how you saw that come to fruition. And there's a lot of really, really fun stuff in there. Players like it was a great opportunity to really roll out the historical rules to sort of say, hey, here's some rookies and here's how we're looking at rookies. If maybe it gives you confidence or whatever, they're quite sort of conservative about how we're going to approach rookies heading forward. A lot of these it's nothing new to us internally. We've been sort of following these guidelines, but they've just never been public. And therefore, people can't sort of make, their choices accordingly. So Origins is out along with some great historic rules. If you're a big rookie collector, you can load up on all those guys, and there's still some great Origins to come. Like the rewards are insane. Like the Tatum dunk and the little chest bump with LeBron. The Hallelujah game in Portland.
Let's go.
I know you guys excited about that one.
Yep.
But I picked up the Shea. It's just so fun. Brandon and I talk a lot about Shea because he's got the Thunder, love for Shea.
No way, right?
In Canada, love.
He can't stop talking about Shea.
Yeah.
So,
I've never heard of that guy. Who's that?
We joke that we have shared custody of Shea. I picked up that, just excited to be able to do that. But just a ton, you're literally talking about 5 great years in NBA history, and we want that in our library. There's a lot of fun stuff, and you've seen a lot of it already that's come out in the archive set. There's more to come. We still are excited to get the sort of conventional rare run it back set out, just to be able to have, there's so many viral, memorable plays from this period of time, and we just want to be able to be to thoroughly explore all of it and have it in the library, for the people who are drawn to those plays and who loved those seasons. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's great to see some footholds in Series 4 that you guys are now able to look back at previous seasons and pick out, like you're saying, eras and find those specific rookies and collectible moments and plays that we remember and would love to have on the platform. That's fantastic to hear and collect. From card collecting and we know as well that rookies are important. And we've seen throughout S1 and S3 that rookies were important in the base sets, and now pulling them out in S4 for the rookie debuts, that people are focused and like collecting rookies. Shout out to Badge County again. And so to see you guys put this with Origins and see Jalen Brunson pop out and different things, just super excited to see. Rookie of the Year badges just came out, and you guys are applying those. That just ridiculous upgrades that you guys are adding to the moments and making them cooler and cooler, man. We're all about it.
Appreciate that,
dude. I love that a lot of companies, a lot of places out there, once you have something kind of going, they can become complacent, right? And you just kind of all right, let's just put out another set. We need to put out some stuff. But like you talked about earlier, kind of building the base layer, right? Setting the foundation. Every season you talked about running run it back. You can look at every single one and you take the best of every season and you implement it into the new one, and then you add more. And just going into even the legacies, the Dirk moment is one of my favorite moments on the platform. Get the freak out of here. And I was blessed enough to get the Kyrie moment in a pack. And I was like, damn, that's awesome too. But I want the Dirk. So I got to figure this out. But it's you're making it hard not to want every moment. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because the quality is so great. The implementation of the sound and the bench and the player reactions and the jumbotrons. And it's it's one of the reasons that I can't even imagine how do you sleep at night? There has to be so much going on in your head. S5, I don't, if S4 is fire, like the shirt says here behind me, S5 is going to be a freaking explosion. Like, I don't even know what to say S5 is. Like, I'm super pumped, dude.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
Austin, Brett, that was fantastic. You got to talk more about Dirk, that legendary moment. You got that as a Mavs fan. Just Austin talked earlier about the new aspects and things, but that's his last home game in Dallas. Talk about getting that in your collection. You have to be super pumped, man.
Man, I haven't gotten a lot of legendary drops. This was one I was like, bro, the Dirk, I got to find a way to get it. I'll sell off stuff. Like, I'm a Mavs fan, die hard through and through. And it's just one of the ones that no matter what, I was going to find a way to get it. And quick story, I honestly didn't think I got a pack because like the day happened, everyone got their packs and there wasn't one in my like my account yet. And I woke up the next day and I was like, hey, there's a pack in my account. And I was like texting people. I was like, I don't even know if I got charged. Like, did I just get a free pack? Like, what's going on? And then I opened it and I saw the Kyrie and I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And my first thought was, I love this moment, but I have to get the Dirk. Like, it wasn't even an option. And with the challenges going on, I was able to kind of capitalize on, the profit side of it to where I could just buy the Dirk outright. But the Dirk is literally seeing him with Lucas, seeing his last game, seeing him put up the corner shot in his, famous Dirk fadeaway. Like, it's everything I wanted a Dirk moment to be, especially his OG, the rare Top Shot debut, the run it back is like one I've always wanted as well. But then when you watch those two side by side, you're like, dude, this is literally, it's the perfect moment for me. And I use that lightly. Like, I mean, you throw a little game sound in there, but like it's awesome, dude. Like, I watched it like 25 times, like like in a row. I just kept watching it, looking for different things. And
legendary Dirk, dude.
like,
Austin, you talk about little things. That's so cool, Brett. Man, I'm so jealous of you, and I definitely want to get that with you because that moment is incredible. Austin, when he's scoring and getting buckets in there, such a great reel, and then to finish it with him walking out and high-fiving the fans, man, it's just such a special moment for all Mavs fans, all NBA fans. Like, shout out to you guys, Dirk, King Brett, man, just what a moment.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. When we were sort of prepping, the legacy set, we really, watching that and just amazed, just watching the broadcast of it, like how like Mark Cuban did right by Dirk, I think basically across the board. That's what it appears to an outsider, but certainly on that night, you really felt it, and it just lended itself so well. The visuals, the emotion that was there, like it just lended itself so well as a legacy's moment. So happy to get that, happy to include everything we could include. And like I said, the NBA, like now that the NBA, like the editors on the NBA side know, hey, this is what we want to do. We're going to fight for this sort of supporting footage. And they take that sort of mandate and they come up with all this awesome heat. They just find all the great stuff and they collect it for us. And, with some refining on our end, then we sort of, we give it the green light. But that turned out amazing. And I'm just happy to hear that because like, yeah, you mentioned like, yeah, there's the run it back, the debut, the game winner, the ugliest game winner in the Garden or whatever. Which is fun.
Around 10 times on Carmelo and finally falls. Yeah, he gives the fifth pump and it, but yeah, it's definitely nasty looking.
It's like it's a fun moment, like it, and like it's a very like easy like moment to love. There's like Top Shot history to it with the debut badge and especially with the Series 1 component. But like is that the Dirk memory that you're gonna tell your grandkids about, or is it? So like that's why I just try to encourage all sort of collectors to be open-minded. Like what moment comes into the product first? Like we'll have a badge and that's cool for Top Shot reasons, but like I want fans that lived through their the triumphs of their team, like what the best moments are because you watch them. Like don't let Top Shot tell you what the grail is. Like what the grail is, and you should know. That's the point. Like that's not a bug. That's a feature. Like you should want to know what the grail is and to decide what the grail is for yourself, whether it's got a badge or not. And I think you see that, with the Dirk.
Heck yeah. Well, let's get off topic for a minute. What's something that you're doing when you're not at work? How'd you go on any vacation, travel anywhere? What are you doing at the house besides
Um,
getting buckets? I see you
get,
shooting in your free time too.
shooting lots of buckets in the driveway. I'm big.
Jackson left hand after the Larry Bird stuff.
Yeah,
I think
out
I
there
got
getting
to.
buckets with the left.
I think I got to. Ever since I moved my basketball net into the garden, though, I don't know if it would be appreciated if I'm shooting with my left. But what do I do outside of basketball? I've been like obsessively like hardcore into my like dynasty like fantasy baseball team like prospects. Like
Ooh.
I'm like, hey, like Ethan Salas is already in like AA, like just like not even the like majors, like the Jays are in the playoffs, the Rangers are in the playoffs, and I'm like,
Yes, sir.
kind of
Shout
interested
out.
in that, but like who's on the like Arizona Fall League rosters? Like I don't know why.
Right.
Sometimes like and I tell my wife that sometimes the things that I'm like drawn to are just kind of so far away from basketball, like because it's easy for me to work all day doing basketball stuff, and then what do I do for fun? Oh, I turn on basketball. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm not actually relaxing. Like it's just like it's just
like
basketball into more basketball. It's I have to be kind of
Put it in my veins. Awesome.
Yeah. So like it's kind of where I naturally go. But if I end up wanting to sort of get away, like I'll just pick something random and get way into it for like a like a couple weeks, but like a couple, like not too long ago, I was like into like this like flight simulator, like just nothing. I'm like terrible at it. I don't know anything about it, but I'm just like, this is so far away from basketball. It's like my brain needs it. But I always come back here.
Simulator is really cool.
Yeah.
Give us a hot take. Yeah, like tell us who's someone that you've seen in camp or you've seen in the minors or that you're excited about or a team or
I mean, I'm pretty big on I'm pandering to you guys again, but pretty big on the Wyatt Langford bandwagon as a future stud on the Rangers. Big into Langford. Happy to be able to get him in my dynasty league. And I think you could see him, being one of the best sort of offensive, the fantasy at least aspect, prospects, before too long. But big into all of them. Jackson Holiday, I'm excited to see, of course, like everybody is. So.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. King Brett, I didn't know how we were going to ever steer this to the Rangers, and I'm so happy we just did. That's so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rangers in the playoffs. We're fired up around here, but that's exciting. Fantasy baseball, especially dynasty, that's not easy work, buddy. You're deep into the rosters. I love it.
Yeah, very deep.
That'll definitely take your head off of basketball. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
Something you guys have in common outside of basketball would be puppy dogs. You guys are both into canines. Talk about your dogs.
Yeah, we've got two dogs. I have a husky that's 3 years old. She's awesome. She's just
What's
this
her
like
name?
Siguan is her name. It's a Cree name. She came from like a reserve up north. We just got her through a rescue, and she got sort of plopped on our lap, and she was awesome with kids, young kids. Like I've got young kids, and she was just great. Huskies are kind of crazy, I think, sometimes, like in a fun, crazy way.
King Brett, you know that?
I have two of them.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yes, I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Besides the mountain of hair that you could collect from them. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like this was the first she like our husky would just lay outside on the deck, and for us, not for you guys, but for us, like our deck is covered in snow and ice, obviously, for many months out of the year. But in the springtime, this is the first time it's ever happened. I've had dogs my whole life, and this is the first time it's ever happened. When the snow melted, there was just like literally this blanket of fur that had like fallen off over the course of the winter and like weaved into the ice.
Oh my
god!
gosh.
You need to like power wash the deck just to get this like literally like a carpet of fur off the deck.
Oh, that's so awesome.
But she's great, and she's awesome with the kids, which is amazing. And then just this summer, we got a puppy, another like a mutt, with who is, believe it or not, I don't know if you've seen the pictures. It looks like a sort of a shepherd lab mix, but we don't know what his dad is, but we know his mom is a husky. So like I don't know what's happening up there. But amazing dog, amazing sort of disposition, and kind of came through the same sort of rescue that we worked with on our husky, and that one is Richard Rip Hamilton. So I had full naming rights. I had full naming rights over that one, if you're wondering. So
it sounds like it.
Shout out to the Pistons there.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Yeah, I knew the You guys are both dog people, but really cool. Both husky families.
Yeah, I've always sort of admired the breed, but I've never had a husky in my life. But when we told people, hey, we're getting a husky, they're like, they're insane. Like,
Yeah.
And so we had to put up like the fence in our backyard. It's like just standard 5-foot sort of chain link fence, and we literally had to put an additional like roll of chain link. Like we have like a third of an acre, and it's all got an extra layer of chain link, so it looks like a prison yard just to keep the husky in. Because otherwise she jumps it like it's absolutely nothing and just goes and tries to eat my neighbor's chickens. So we needed it for sure.
You don't understand how you just said that makes me happy, because not only that, in Three Balls Laughing, because he's been one that's helped me chase my husky that's got out all over town to get him or her back several times.
Many times.
They can open doors. They can open gates. It's like insane. But I also have 6 chickens at my house here. And so I have it quadruple barricaded, underground, overground, and they'll sit there and I know that they're plotting. They'll sit there and they'll stare at the chickens. They're like, how can I get you out of that cage?
Oh my
gosh. Like every day. That's so crazy.
The struggle is real. So if you have any tips, you need to let me know, because I'm still learning on the fly.
I will. I'll send you a couple. I'll slide into your DMs, bud.
All right.
So Brett, great question on hot takes with fantasy baseball. We're about to start the NBA season. It's October 10th when this is coming out, so we're 2 weeks away, basically exactly from opening night. What's going to happen? What are you thinking besides Pistons? You got hot takes for them. Where's your hot takes around the NBA?
Obviously big for this past week was the moves that the Bucks made, that'll be amazing. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch Dame with Giannis. I think, as everybody is, like that'll be appointment viewing. But the move that I'm like kind of most sort of excited for in terms of like what's gonna, in my mind, move the the actual championship conversation, like the Celtics with Drew Holiday is. I think they're betting favorites. This isn't exactly a hot take, but I've seen them tied with the Bucks. But to me, like, we've watched the Celtics be so good and so close, recently, but lacking something.
Right. Quite good.
And I feel like they just got it, and and it
It's
makes me think about
that's a big addition, very sneaky,
huge addition, and it wouldn't even be the first time that a team added Drew Holiday. And then it took that sort of next step. Like, that's what the Bucks did.
Yeah,
the Bucks needed to appease like Giannis, and they did the trade with the Pelicans, and they got Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday wins a ring in his first year with the team, and Top Shot era, baby. You see the impact, like it's in that steal on Booker, and the lob to Giannis.
Veteran play, the defense for sure, the passing, that hole that I think everybody was worried, and I was excited to talk to Treaticus about, was Marcus Smart. We've been jabbing him all series about losing that, and that's such a key piece. Grant Williams too, and bringing in Drew Holiday is going to be a monster piece to help put them back together.
Yeah, I think so. At first I was. When it was just like Porzingis in and Smart out, I was like, I commend them for taking the risk. Sometimes you got to do that and get funky.
We did it too. We understood.
But we done that. Got rid of
them. So, but now to sort of like backfill and improve that Marcus Smart core, building block, and then it makes you like, excuse me, sorry.
No.
It makes it like, now it's kind of exciting because like, hey, you don't have that gap from losing Smart,
right?
Because you got Drew. He's going to do that and more.
Yeah.
And now you've got this. Oh wow, they've never really had a front court weapon quite like they do now with Porzingis, but they didn't have to lose a part of their identity now to get it. Now that they pulled it off, so I'd feel good if I was a Celtics fan. They got to be the title favorite. I guess you can't really bump the Nuggets. From the spot, but if I had to pick between the Bucks and the Celtics, I think I would pick the Celtics. I think, but just real excited to see teams go for it. I've said this for a while, even when it doesn't go well. Like, I was excited for the Timberwolves last year when they traded for Gobert, and then I'm like, I'm like so happy. It's like when when a friend
make
like
it
finally
move.
just spends a bunch of money on something that they think is cool. And I'm like, I don't know if it was a good financial decision or not, but I'm happy that you did something that made you
Right.
happy. So that's
Yeah.
how I feel about teams going all in on moves like that. But
It's
I'd
hard in
rather
the
them do.
preseason. I'm sorry, King Brett. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying, I'd rather them do something than do nothing. You know what I mean? So it just creates excitement.
Yeah.
Because there is a change.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
the same thing. You're hoping they just magically get better.
Yeah. So that's exciting, but I'm most excited about for the Pistons, of course.
I'm excited for the Mavs to crush everyone and win the championship. So it's all good either way.
I knew that was coming as soon as I came to you.
How do you feel about year 2 of Jaden Hardy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And changing his number, going to number 1. So we have the number 3 jerseys all locked in. Not going to be any more of those.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we're Mavs homers for sure. But speaking of Pistons homers, before we let you go, talk to us about what you got coming down the pike there and what you're excited about with them.
I'm so excited just to see Cade back on the court, healthy. Like I was high on the Pistons last year. I know they won 17 games. Let's not talk about it. But just because I feel like Cade is just at a point where, just like the pace he plays, the maturity brings, like at the fact that he's still 22.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to start to see something shift last year, but that quickly went out the window. Cade was hurt, and then Cade was out. He only played like 12 games.
Right.
So simply to have Cade back is going to be just amazing for this team, which I truly believe is done tanking. Like enough is enough. Like you've got your young pieces. Now it's time to go with them. Right. And I thought that last year, but obviously injuries sort of changed it. But to have Cade healthy and, performing well, like you heard the reports out of, his scrimmaging against the Team USA team, like Cade looking like one of the best players on the floor. I've been watching the Rico Hines scrimmages. And you just got this whole like Pistons like starting lineup out there, like just playing randomly in a gym in the summer.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like Jalen Duren just looked great. I'm so excited about Asar Thompson. Like I think he does exactly what this team needs. Like just like just a solid like athletic wing. Like he was so fun. Like we were in Vegas that summer league, and I was watching like the Jaden Ivey Asar Thompson connection there. I'm excited to see a full season of that. And yeah, so we got a lot of young pieces, but I just really think another season of like 25 or fewer wins, like it's not going to serve anybody well. Like you're going to start seeing like an environment start to go south. I think if the Pistons don't take a step forward, and I think they're capable of doing it. But it all hinges on Cade, and Cade is a person who I'm happy to sort of bet on to sort of right the ship. So I'm also like an unfailing homer at every turn. So you should just ignore everything I've just said, but I personally am excited for the Pistons this season.
No, I believe everything you say, just like you should believe everything we say about the Mavs.
I love it.
We try to be down the middle on most teams, and then as soon as our team comes up, we just jump all over it. So we're in the same boat with you, buddy.
Let me just filibuster for 30 minutes about Boyan Bogdanovic.
How long can I go?
So,
oh man, this has been great talking to you, Austin. I really appreciate your time. I know we covered quite a few things. One last thing before I let you go. I don't know how much you can tell us, but we've highlighted a ton of S4. S5, what are some things that you can maybe tease us with? What are some things that maybe we're going to carry over? Maybe something that you see in the future that we should be looking forward?
We're still very much refining it. We've been talking about this for months, probably a year, honestly. We've been talking about Series 5, and you've started to see tests with like, even how we're, distributing content. We're just everybody, all hands on deck are thinking about, hey, how can we make, Series 5 the best, the best, most feel good sort of experience. Like we want to release new content. We want to release new content in satisfying, healthy ways, being able to do the things that we've been able to do with the leaderboards and like the locking and the escrow on the leaderboards, just be able to make a more feel good experience. I think you're going to see that continuing on into Series 5. The content, like the blueprint that we've been following in Series 4, like Series 4 was an improvement on Series 3. We'll probably make more, subtle like changes in the Series 5 to sort of strike that balance between, hey, we want the best content and we want it in the most intuitive sets, but we also want to release this content as, we don't want to backload all our good stuff necessarily at the end. We don't like the starts and stops. Like it's tough to strike that balance, So continuing to refine the sort of day-to-day components of where the content goes is big for myself, for Brandon, like in the sort of trenches doing the day-to-day stuff. But like big picture wise, I think that it's just all hands on deck, thinking of cool new ways, healthy ways to sort of distribute that content. So, including these deflationary mechanics and stuff like that. So I think you've seen some of it, and every time we do something, everyone's taking notes and figuring out how we can tweak it and refine it. So hopefully that is very evident when we actually get into Series 5.
Oh, we've been noticing throughout Series 4 for sure. There's been major and drastic changes, but it's all happening so fast when you take that 30,000 foot view or zoom out, however you want to business speak it, that we've made so much progress, and the product is in such a great place and going in a great direction. So the boundaries you guys are pushing and the basketball y'all are pushing, we're definitely loving it. So just keep up the good work, man.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you saying that.
I also want to say I appreciate the answer that you gave, because most people have the conception that like every season it's just easy. Austin, it's easy. Just do this. It's easy. Come on, just tweak this, do this. Come on.
Nobody says that, King Brett.
Everyone. I'm just calling all of us out, right? But we had so many great changes in S4, and you can't just stack stuff on top of an unsettled foundation, right? So like refining it and getting it to where it needs to be to then make that next jump and do even crazier stuff and even bigger stuff. So I really appreciated that answer, because getting it tweaked the right way is the right way to build for the future. And I think everyone here, especially that's probably listening to this or watching this or on this, we're not here for only another week. This is, we tap the vein. We're in it. It's our blood. Yeah. This is who we are now. So I'm really excited about that, man. I appreciate you, Brandon, the whole team, all the stuff behind the scenes that y'all are doing. It's just that we can't give y'all enough gratitude that y'all deserve, because you deserve more. So just thanks.
Well, thank you.
More and more moments. So you're welcome.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, just we just want to be holistic and healthy, and we don't want to be stubborn, but we don't want to be, too reactive. Like we want to be agile. Getting back into the business speak, but just knowing that, hey, things aren't perfect, but when we change things, like let's change things the right way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about it, and it's it's fun. I've been here for a long time now. Teams look in a lot of different ways since I started, and just to see this sort of crop that we have, and how everybody's coming together. People are being empowered to really do cool things. People are so passionate about the product, here for the right reasons. And I think you're starting to see that in what's actually getting delivered, a better user experience.
Love it, AK. Love it. This has been episode 17 of the Collectin and Connectin podcast. Appreciate Austin, you being here for sure. King Brett, you're the best, buddy. Thanks for being here, guys.
Dude,
thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, guys.
We will be taking a break this next week before the NBA season to do some giveaways. So make sure you're following us on Twitter at Collectin and Connectin, and also check out our YouTube page where you're seeing this, and make sure you subscribe so that you see our giveaways coming out. And then we mentioned Brandon Soul, the other part, one of a valued part of the Curation team. He's actually going to open the season for us, and we'll be starting with episode 18 of Collectin and Connectin podcast. Opening night, we'll drop Brandon's episode. It's going to be awesome. So excited to talk to him, and probably talk about Austin behind his back a little bit. So very excited.
You got to grill him. You got to grill Brandon.
Yeah, we're going to do some research. We're going to bring the goods like you did with Larry.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll try to find 4 biographies about Brandon that you can read before.
Please.
I
please
want
send
to
them
fire
our way.
questions at him.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
go.
read them all.
Awesome, Austin. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, guys.